Hi, how's everybody doing? I am super excited to be here tonight. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I don't know about you guys. If you've been following Huddle Time with Ronit, you know I started in Seattle 4 months ago, and we just decided to get into an Airstream and go with the flow. While we working, while we airing for you, we took you everywhere with us. Every Monday we were in a different state, in a different place, and we got to share this with you. So right now we're in Eastern time zone at 8 o'clock. So we really climbed for 3 hours all the way to here. Super excited. We are in Florida, and I have a super guest today. I'm super stoked. Super stoked. Hopefully you guys are going to have the best time. You know, I thought music will be a good thing for us, right? So anybody who's joined us tonight, welcome to Huddle Time with Ronit. Every Monday, we and our partners, Americans Beauty Show, we bring you live great people, successful people that have done tremendous things with their career. Doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter, you know, whether they're in the beauty industry or outside the beauty industry, they're experts at what they do, and they're here to teach us. They're here to show us what they did, how they pivot their life, what are they working on right now, and how they can teach us and show us what you guys can do and create a better career for yourself. So if you're a salon owner, maybe you're a stylist, or you're a coach, or whatever you need today, is the show is for you. And I'm super excited to share this with you. For those of you who do not know me and just coming in, my name is Ronit Enos, and I'm a profit expert. Yes, I do like to be called Prophet Jedi. And so I'm a founder of Salon Cadence Academy. It's a teaching and training company that teach and help all beauticians to grow their business. We are a high-end training company. And if you want to learn a lot more about us and you want to be coached or trained, I go every week on our Top 5 Profit Salon and Spa Owners Facebook page. So come and visit me. The link will be on this. Now, what do we have going on for you today? We have Miss Oh My God. Yeah, we have Olivia in the house. Now, I'm sure all of you know who Olivia is, but just in case somebody does not know who is Olivia, first of all, she is just all-hearted person. She's sweet, she's kind, she's wise, she's smart. She's so much fun to talk to. I had an amazing conversation with her, and we have started this for quite some time. As a matter of fact, my buddy Jay Williams has introduced us together. And ever since, I thought this is going to be such a magic of friendship. So she's an influencer. She works with so many great brands in the world, spread the world. She works with Joico. She is a celebrity hairstylist, but she is a social media guru. You know, she takes her show, as you know, and she takes it to so many great events. She spoke at a Forest event as a keynote. She's a spokesperson for Modern Salon. She's one of the top 100 influencers for Modern Salons, and has been appearing in Allure magazine and Cosmopolitan. I mean, really, there's so much, but I'm not going to bore you with all of that. We're going to talk real. And here is my good friend, Olivia. Hey, Olivia.
Hello, my dear. Thank you for that introduction. That was so nice.
Well, you know, it's so funny when it comes to introduction. I had to learn how to do an introduction, and I'm still learning how to do introductions. But if it was up to me 100%, how I would introduce somebody that you feel so close to is just only talk about all their great, you know, virtues. And I think that's what I wanted to showcase here. So what's up? What's going on? What did you do today? It's Monday.
So I always say, if you ever have anxiety, it's probably because it's Monday. Today, I didn't drink as much coffee, so my anxiety levels were a little bit on the lower end. I got so much stuff done today. So like, I feel very accomplished. I've been anticipating this live since you and I actually planned this date. So finally, here we are, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time Zone. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, currently. I see my family actually on here right now. So I love you, Dad. I see that you guys have all really kind of like engulfed into this new modern life of social media. And that's what I really wanted to talk about today. And what does that look like? And how do I build my brand? And how do I really stand out? So you and I actually, Ronit, we had mentioned a lot of the things that I'm going to explain today. It's not just somebody that is in the salon. It could be, my examples will be specific to the beauty industry, but this is going to be for everyone, for every industry. And I know you love the sound of that.
I do. I love that. And for two reasons. One is because I think every practices that we do, how we brand ourselves and how we put ourselves out there shows up obviously in our social media on every specifics that we put ourselves out there. So I'm really excited that we're going to speak to anybody in any service business industry in any level. You can be a brand, you can be a manufacturer, you know, it's just amazing. And I've learned so much from you, Olivia. I've learned already. I have to tell you what I did.
Tell me.
Okay, hold on. Before I tell everybody what I did and what I've learned from just our last conversation, I do want to tell everybody that I am going to be looking at the feed and trying to read all your comments and questions. Olivia here is my friend, is going to help me with that. But if we don't see your name, that's because there's so many shares. And because of that, sometimes we don't see names. So please let us know who you are. Okay, so we can refer to you. We see Lindsay here, our friend. Ashley is here. Jennifer is here. So thank you for coming in. We're really excited. So here's what I did. Okay, no lie. When you said that you picked up your brand colors and you wear your brand colors, you know, because definitely what you have behind you on the wall, I saw it on the floor the other day, right? Well, you were planning it. Yeah, love those, love it, love it. So I got so inspired, okay, because Miranda has been building our color tiles on our Instagram for quite some time. I don't know about you, because this is a tough one. We've been going from dark black to white to red, the blue, the green, and every time, well, we like it, we don't like it, but listen to this. We finally found the colors that we love. So anybody who wants to go to my IG at Ronit's Coaching, please tell me now if you like those colors. So I went to the store after I talked to you on Saturday, and I just bought a whole wardrobe of the colors. I did.
Amazing.
So here's one.
I love it. It's beautiful. Well, to give you guys a little bit of a perspective of what I had mentioned, and I love homework because it means that you're getting some sort of takeaway from actually listening to me. So what I did was I actually went on to Pinterest. My mom's in love with Pinterest. She's actually on here too. I went on to Pinterest.
Hi,
and
Mom.
what I did was I said, okay, I need to figure out what my brand is, and I have to think outside of my industry. So a lot of the things, a lot of the tactics that I do, I always stem from another place. I wanted to come up with a brand color, a theme, a vibe. Actually, Lo Wheeler said it best. She said, if people can't dress up like you for Halloween, then your branding is not that great. And I couldn't agree more with her. So I went to Pinterest and I just started pinning photos that I loved. Any photo. It doesn't matter if it was animals, if it was cars, if it was decor, if it was gardening. It didn't matter. I put it on a page, took a step back, and I really looked at it and I said, okay, where am I finding a common denominator in my theme? Well, I fell in love with pastels, iridescence, and I really honed in on the color pink. I was actually, how I got the idea of pink is because I started to look up the background of the way colors make you feel, okay? So blue obviously is a more mood, very calming. Well, pink, I mean, chances are your favorite color resembles your personality. Okay. So like if you really love black, you're probably more sophisticated. You're very chic. You're modernized, right? Well, pink really just kind of explained my brand. And not only is it like a pink, it's actually like a mauve pink, which is a more millennial pink is actually the trending word for it. And once I did that and I really started to hone in those colors, it gave me a base for my Instagram page. So if you guys, Ronit, if you could even just type in on the page, it's instagram.com/omgartistry, you will get a full feel for what my brand is. So much so that if someone is at Target and they see an iridescent cup, they're going to be like, oh my God, I should buy this for Olivia. Okay, so that is how specific I'm getting it. The way that I look at branding online is it has to be something that's very different and very unique. So number one, how do you stand out in a world full of ring lights and white walls on Instagram? Because that's the trend that we have followed into when it comes to our social media pages. Not only are you going to be able to classify yourself with a color, but in order to really stand out, that's when you have to start bringing your personality into it, which we will talk about in a little bit. What do you think, Ronit?
Oh, absolutely. I'm learning all of that, right? I feel like it's never ending learning phase, and not to mention it's changing all the time. How do you keep up with that? How do you spend? But before we even go to that one, Olivia, how did you start? Like, what made you get up in the morning, or did you? Or maybe it was an evolution of, how did you find your passion in that?
So what ended up, how it all started, I've actually been working in hair salons since I was 13 years old. My mom was my first mentor. She taught me what it was like to work really, really hard and how to make a dollar. Moving along into high school, I actually found my passion in videography and photography. Fell absolutely in love with it, but it ended up becoming a job. So that's what I did in college. And around, I think it was 2008, maybe 2009, I actually left college, came back home, and at this time we were done with the idea of me finishing college. And I had actually asked my mom, I said, Mom, like, what am I going to do? I hate what I went to school for. I didn't learn anything about business. Like, it was just all math classes. Why do I need to take logistical science? Like, so what ended up really coming to this realization was I wanted to stem back to my roots, which was beauty. And I loved it. So I ended up going to school. I ended up going to Sheridan Cosmetology School in Hollywood, Florida. And at the time, I did not qualify for financial aid at all. On paper, my parents made way too much money that year before. I was in credit card debt myself. I hadn't worked in college for 2 years. And this was the year that the market crashed. So I had a lot of obstacles in my way when it came to actually paying for school. And after 6 weeks and 6 days of begging and pleading to go to beauty school, I actually ended up getting a grant to go to school for free, which was massive. And that's why I do what I do. So for you guys that are out there right now, and you're going to learn a lot today, and you're going to be like, why does she give away all of her secrets? It's because someone took a chance on me. I was given the opportunity of a career that I can take with my 2 hands, my feet, standing behind a chair, that I could do this life anywhere around the world, right? Through my thought process of becoming an educator is when I became an influencer, right? So educators indirectly influence. Fast forward, I started doing hair. I actually built a wedding agency where I hired 20 women in South Florida. We did 400 weddings in 4 years. I sold my soul to this job, to this life. Keep in mind, I was probably 21, 22 around this time, to give you some frame of mind. Well, what ended up happening was this was right when Instagram started coming out, and I fell back in love with my videography, photography side, started creating content, and I literally said to myself, I hated weddings. I had to step away from it completely because it wasn't fair to me and it wasn't fair to the bride, right? So what ended up happening was I basically said, if I'm delegating this time to my weddings, which was 3 days a week, I'm going to delegate it to Instagram. And since then, I have been consistent through my content, my context, and my collaborations for probably now over 7 years. So
now it's amazing because I feel like, as we evolve through our career, each milestone in our career pushes us, and we learn and we take us to the next. We learn and we take it to the next. So it's almost like you were meant to go to school so you can learn videography, and so you can learn that you don't want to do this full time. But that was a tool that has brought you a lot of success, I think. What else did you get from that time of your life in school for videography that you're using now in yours right now?
The eye was so sharpened in school. I see a lot of things that a lot of people don't see. For instance, I am a more analytical person online. So like I know immediately when one of my videos is going viral. I know it because I can tell you if my video has over if it has over 10,000 views in 10 minutes, it's about to go viral. When I actually did my water bottle curls video, which is probably to this date my most viral video, just from me posting it and swiping down once to restart to see how many numbers, it was at 12,000 people in a matter of about 2 minutes.
Okay.
It was insane.
It's insane. That's insane. And I'm thinking to myself, you also create, I mean, there's a specific habits or specific attributes when somebody that is entrepreneurial as you are, okay? And hey, Mom, I'm giving you lots of credit for it, but I'm also looking at, oh my God, Miss Oh my God, at age 20, 21 to build a business and have the business mind of tapping into the weddings, hire people, become a slave to the time. I get it. But there's something you must have learned from that business that you decided either not to take with you to the next one or to take with you to the next one. What did you learn? What that you're applying now in your business world?
So I think the reason through my consistency is obviously discipline. Any one of these influencers that you guys see out here right now, not even just influencers, successful hairstylists, business owners, through their discipline, you will always become successful because somehow that path is going to take you to where your destiny is supposed to be. So everything that I've learned along the way has set me up for like this moment right now. That butterfly effect, right? So I think through, I have almost like I call it like a fear blocker in my head. I really just try to put on those blinders and like, I don't look this way. Like I look straight forward all the time. I see what's trending. I look outside of my industry, like I kind of mentioned from the beginning. I think through the research and through the networking and the connecting and obviously listening twice as much as you speak, right? That's how I've learned. And I've picked up on these atomic habits to basically follow where the trends are going and also have that, okay, I'm working a 25/8 mindset, but I work hard and I play hard too. I really have balanced out like the logical side of my brain and the emotional side of my brain, which I call like the creativity side. A lot of hairdressers are very creative and they have that creative mind. But if they can really tap into the 50 work side, the discipline side, the consistency side, even if they just pivot by 5% today, just listening to half of these things, that it only takes a 5% turn in a railroad track to take you to a totally different place.
Absolutely.
If you just implement just the littlest sort of things, it makes all the difference for your path and for your career. And I think you just consistently do that every day, every week, and say, this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to get there. And you just pivot just a little bit every single day. It creates those atomic habits.
Let's talk about those little things. And I love that you say discipline, because to me, discipline is a second nature. Structure is my DNA. And even though I love to have fun and I'm free and I have my balance, I do have my boundaries. And you and I, we spoke about boundaries. But let's not go to boundaries. Yes, I would love to know, what is your routine? What is your day like? You're 25/8. I get that. And I love that. I love the terminology. So in order to keep your mindset healthy and positive, and to have the other side of your brain creative, there's got to be some restoration. There's got to be replenishment. So what do you do on from the moment you wake up? What time do you wake up? What do you eat? Do you exercise? Give us you.
You guys are gonna laugh. I have to sleep at least 8 hours a night. 8 to 12 hours a night of sleep. And 8 hours is like still not even enough time for me. Like I usually sleep like about 10 hours. I sleep very well at night. Like I can close my eyes and go to sleep like within 2 minutes. I'm not a night thinker. I'm a morning thinker. So me starting to get my mind start jogging, I usually wake up anywhere from like 8 to 8:30 to 9 o'clock. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is, I'd love to say that I stretch and I do yoga, but I don't. Like, it's realistic. I don't. I'd love to implement that eventually. I did a lot of that during quarantine. I did a lot of meditation during quarantine, which calmed my nerves and really set up a good frame of mind for me for the place that I was at. And I have this big thing about doing things in off season. So when it's showtime, that you're fully prepared. So I prepared my brain during quarantine to like when it was showtime, which is like right now. With that being said, I eat extremely healthy. I have a meal delivery service. I drink coffee in the morning and I eat twice a day. I hardly snack, but I still eat my damn cheat meals on the weekend, my tacos, my burgers, whatever. It keeps me in track. It keeps me sharp. So with that being said,
I love it. What meal delivery do you use?
It's called Eat Clean. So I've been doing a meal delivery service for about 2 years. And let me explain to you guys why I do this.
Because I've ventured into it, and now that we're going to be here for 3 months, I would love to use that too. So what do you use?
So this is why I have a meal delivery service, right? When you do not have time to cook, for the amount of time that it takes to go shopping, for the amount of time that it takes to prep the food, and then the expenditures that go into actually doing it, I would rather pay an extra $1, $2 per day, right? In order to have it done for me, because I am very limited. I compartmentalize my entire life, my entire day. So that's why I do that. But let me explain to you guys how I call it brain space, okay? If, let's say, for instance, like I'm driving to work, I'm literally physically putting on that different hat to go into work. I can't watch the news before I go into work. I can't have world conversations. I can't have conflict in my life. Literally, I do not occupy my brain space with any bullshit before I go into me actually physically doing something. Same thing when I go live. Literally when I go live, I'll say to my husband, I'm like, I can't occupy my brain space with this right now. I'm about to I gotta tune in. And that's why I think my adrenaline goes through the freaking roof, because I expand on everything that I'm saying, and obviously through my content, my context, my passions, my education. You have to really focus. It's like an actor. It's literally like an actor. So they used to say Jim Carrey all the time. You couldn't call him Jim Carrey. You had to call him The Mask, or literally his name. You have to treat him like the character, because they're emulating. And that's how I am online. I always say, even when I'm live, even right now, okay, I'm not thinking about however many people are in this live and if they're judging me, or maybe they're not here to root me on, or they're here to troll me. You cannot occupy your brain space, because you are the only person who is in charge of your success, and the majority of people want to see you succeed. So when you have this out-of-body experience, when it comes to you being live or you giving your information and you're too in your brain about it, you're never going to succeed. So what you have to do is you have to talk about
that. Oh, I want to talk about that because this is you hit a very important part. And I'm sure that what I'm going to say right now is true for everybody here. So I want you guys to talk, right? There is one question that is part of my question here. Sarah, she says, what do you do if you feel like you're losing your drive? And I love that question, Sarah, because that portrays into what happens that you're in your mind and to your space, right? To your brain space. So listen, let's just talk about it. We all start someplace. We all have to start someplace. And I can't tell you how much work I have to do on myself to come live. I have to work on myself. And just like you, I have to get into my space zone. I have to eliminate everything that is interacting. But when I get on stage and when I'm there, like you, I'm 100%, right? I'm all in. I'm all in just like now. But it's very difficult to put yourself out there, to be vulnerable, to be real, because you're worried about people. What are they thinking? How do you get rid of that? And like Sarah says, what do you do to replenish yourself when you lose your drive? Because we all do.
I need to show you guys something. So this is
you're getting the whole screen. Hold on.
I literally write everything. This is my I am busy book. I'm very busy book. I'm not just busy, I'm very busy. This is my book. And literally on the front page, it says, it's my manifestation diary, first of all. And it says everything that I like and everything that I don't like on here. What I want out of myself, how many days a week I want to work, okay? Get rid of unwanted clients was something that I just picked up on the book. Basically being credible. I mean, literally, look, I have this. I don't know, I love you guys, but I love you guys. This is the thing. I make lists all the time. And I say to myself, what do I love? And what do I hate? And I'm telling you right now, if you've been feeling some type of way about something, it's because you hate something. So through your own boundaries, which we mentioned before, okay, through your own self-discipline, through elimination, you have to rid out the things you don't like in your life. This is the best life ever, guys. The best life ever. I wake up every single morning and I say, I love my life, I love my life, I love my life. And if there's something in my mind that I don't love or I don't believe myself, it has to go. I can't do it to myself anymore. I think quarantine was the most healthiest thing that ever happened, because when we're on that hamster wheel, we don't even see half of the things that go on. I know you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And you don't even realize what you're doing to yourself or what other people are doing. So what I ended up doing was I started eliminating certain clientele out of my book. I made a list, guys. I made a list of every client that I do for a discount. I made a list of every client that I do for free. My husband's on that list, right? They have to create value for you. He's already asked me for a haircut. His
Bill just asked me too. Bill just asked me for a haircut. I said, all right, baby.
Still waiting.
He's still waiting.
Hi. So I make these lists. I make a list. I put on the list the people that are habitually late. Okay. And I go from every single person to figure out what's bugging me and how to fix it. But let me tell you, the people that don't like boundaries, boundaryless people. Sometimes when you push back on those type of people, you're going to start to see your true colors. So when you tell them, hey, I need to implement a fee because you're late every single time, see how they act, because that's telling. And you know what? You're only getting mad at yourself. You're only getting mad at yourself, and then that's where you're losing your passion. That's where you're figuring out, oh my God, I don't want to go to work today. Or you do color corrections with box dye and you take them on all the time. You have to eliminate all the clientele you do not want inside of your book. What does your ideal clientele look like? Okay. My ideal clientele is a super successful woman that I can powwow about entrepreneurial industries across the board, one that I vibe with. The clients that sit in my chair, I call myself a relationship hairstylist. Okay. The clients that sit in my book, and for anyone who's out there that's a salon owner, I'm talking even the hairstylists that come into your salon that work with you. If it's not your vibe, it's not your tribe. And you have to put out the vibe that you want. Because when you don't create an atmosphere, that atmosphere will be created for you. Ronit, you know what I'm talking about, right? So when you're bringing in certain people, when you're bringing in clients, I have clients that have gone through like 3 husbands by now. You stay with me.
Do you think that they, at that point, should know what's their ideal husband should be like?
They know what their ideal hairstylist is if they're sticking around.
Well, let's talk about it. You know, it's funny that you bring this this into the show. I remember I was sitting down with our friend Lindsay Rumpel a few years back, and I was doing a class for her crew, and we did speed dating.
Oh, love
that. Actually implemented the speed dating, and the challenge was, how do we talk? Like, how does a rep, an advisor, talk to a salon owner? Yeah. And the whole idea behind it, Olivia, was, well, let's think about it. How can we have a great match? How can we have a really good match? And how do you find a match? How do you find your ideal client? And how do you find somebody that you really love working with? Because seriously, if you only have 8 hours to work a day, wouldn't you prefer to work 8 hours with the people that you like? It's only 8 hours a day. So all you have to sell is what, 35 hours a week?
So you know what? It's funny you say that. And keep in mind, guys, there's a massive roundabout about how we're bringing this into social media, okay? There is something that I'm about to tell you guys that it doesn't just translate to who's behind your chair. When you're talking about social media, you're talking about the direct people that you want sitting in your chair. So whether I'm saying in person or online, it's the same thing. I have 3 rules that I make when it comes to somebody that I want to either follow me or sit in my chair. Because at the end of the day, social media doesn't mean anything if you're not receiving an ROI. The only reason why you get on social media is to have more money in your pocket for your brand presence, okay? So no one cares about followers, okay? No one should care about followers unless it translates to an ROI. So what I always want is, with my ideal clientele, with my ideal follower, okay, is you have to be nice. You have to be nice. No a-holes in my chair. If I can't catch a vibe off of 10 minutes of talking to you and I don't feel like we're clicking, you are not a client for me. Like I said, you are going to stay with me. I'm going to treat you like gold. I will do anything for you. I will text you on your birthday, right? My second one is frame of mind, okay? Frame of mind means that they're basically like, Olivia, I see what you do. I trust you. How many appointments is it going to take, okay? Because when you have a frame of mind, you're on the same page. And when you have trust, you have a client for life, right? My third one is budget, okay? So if you're nice, if you have a good frame of mind, and you have a budget for what I'm about to do, because I know my self-worth at this point, I say to myself, I know what I want to make hourly, I know what I want to walk away with, then you're a client for life. And when you create those boundaries for yourself, for your clientele, that's when you can start loving your life and reimagining what your career is going to look like.
And these are all great tips. Now, if I could, if we can answer for all of our people, our audience over there, Olivia, let's give them some really good meat now. If I wanted to grow my business and bring the right clients, okay, what are the first 3 things that we should absolutely start? And I'll give you an example. I was sitting down with my client, Anna, and her manager, Carolina. And she said to me, Ronit, I'm considering going and doing Google ads and doing Facebook ads, how can I, because we're thinking, we're seeing an amazing amount of people are not coming out of home. They're all staying at home. Right now, we need to bring them back. So how can we do it with social media? What do you need to do? What are the tips? What are the actions that we should start?
You know what I love about stories is it's so personal, right? Like stories, when people say like, Olivia, like, how do I stand out on social media? 50% of the reason why people come and see you in the salon is because of you, right? 50% of the reason why people are going to follow you online is because of you. So if you are not utilizing that 50% of social media, you are not maximizing your audience online. Does that make sense?
It does. So what should you do in stories? That's very confusing because right now you have reel and you have stories. So how much time should you spend on story a day? Because you were telling me the most important thing is to be consistent.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And like I said to you before, a lot of salon owners don't have a lot of time. And if you're a busy stylist, you need to find out something gimmicky, right? Do you have to be like you said, you have to have a brand, you have to have a theme. Well, what does that involve? So if you can give me one A to Z things that I need to do to expose so I can have ROI, so I can bring 30 clients a month through social media.
I think first and foremost is to make a content calendar. So what that means, and keep in mind, you can make it for 2 days a week. You can make it for 7 days a week if you wanted to, right? The point is, I call like Instagram like multi-level marketing, right? Like the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. So if you're treating it like a part-time job, you're going to get part-time results and maybe not even that, okay? So if you want to commit to building your brand, if you want to start commit to putting people inside of your chair, if you really want to see that return, make a content calendar. What that content calendar will include is basically ideas of what to post. You could do this on yourself. You could take 10 minutes, right? You could do it at the beginning of the month. And you're going to say, Saturday, we're going to post a picture of the color line that we use. Monday, we're going to post one of the girls cleaning to make sure that the clients know that we're really taking care of our salon and we want to ensure the safety of everyone. On the third day, we're going to feature a stylist. Every Wednesday, we're going to feature one of our stylists and her specialties, and we're going to promote her. We're going to talk about that. Okay. Thursday, we're going to show a video of how to curl your hair at home. Okay. So do you guys get the notion that I'm getting through right now? Is basically it's not just about posting pictures of hair. There's so much more to post. It's funny because I see people post only pictures of hair. I'm like, yeah, but what's your salon look like?
Yeah. I'm actually sick of that. I'm sick of having the back of everybody's hair showcasing. I really would like to look at to see what is their vibe over there, right? Because if it's your vibe, it's your tribe, and that's how you bring people in. So what else do I need to know about stories and reels? What kind of a story should I put? Should I put when I'm eating, when I'm cooking? Should I come on and talk for about 20 seconds? Should I come on for, I mean, the other day, I agree with you. The other day I did a reel, which I didn't even know I was doing reel. I didn't even know about it. I just like, reel? What's reel? I'm going to try reel. And I was just jumping rope on it, So it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I have to say, it was really kind of cool. So Bill was videotaping me doing jump roping. I'm doing a little bit better now because now I went up live. But what else should we do in reel and in stories?
So, it's funny because the old me of maybe 3 years ago would say, oh, this is your business page. Like, don't feature your kids. Like, don't, keep it strictly business.
No.
You just said it right now. It's overly saturated. I'm sorry, but like, I want to know how you are because like attracts like. And you know what? If you want to talk about jump roping, when people see you again, they're going to be like, how's your jump roping? Like it creates that conversation. It gives people something to talk about online. So with that being said, same thing too. You could even make a content calendar of what your commitments are for stories. Hey, listen, Amanda, I'm talking stylists, salon owners, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Amanda, you're going to go do a story takeover today of your entire experience, right? Keep in mind, guys, I do have full spectrum videos with slides, stories, how to do reels, all of that. I mean, obviously that's like, it's literally almost a 3-hour class. I have it on my website on omgartistry.com. You can direct message me, Ronit. You can even type omgartistry.com.
Everything is going to be on here in the link. And not to mention, I think Olivia is doing something really unique for us as well, too. That's coming. We're not going to say much about it. We'll keep going. I'm super thrilled, super excited of what's going on for the next few weeks.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. It's always coming. You're always on it, girl. You got it. You got it. And that's another thing. You got to be fresh all the time, right? You got to bring some new relative stories of what's going on. So you don't talk about sex, you don't talk about politics, and you don't talk about what else?
That sounds about right. Talk about everything but that. Yeah. I definitely, for my page, I used to be afraid to kind of be myself a little bit. I always like put on like your phone voice, you know, but like I'd put on like my camera voice and hey guys and yeah, like not anymore. I have learned that the more I feel like I'm sending that story to my friend than to mass, like I try to talk singular all the time. Everyone who's in here right now, you'll probably agree. The way I do my stories, it's very like you feel like I'm sitting there with you. And that is another factor for me to help like the fearness of it get in my head. Because if you think that you're going to be talking to 200 people online, it's going to be a lot different than if you think about it talking to one person. So when your language is different, it kind of tricks you into thinking that you're only sending that to your friend. So that's my tone, is what I'm getting at. That is my tone online, to be your beauty bestie, to talk real. And I love humor. For those of you guys who see my stories, I'm a funny chick. I did a lip flip trick on my husband. We play pranks on each other all the time. I feature that kind of stuff. I just try to keep it really lighthearted. Like when you come to me, it's not like, oh, she's the blonde specialist, the extensionist. It's no, I want to go spend 6 hours with Olivia because she seems like a good time and she can make me laugh. You know?
No, we talked, I think our conversation, we were supposed to be on dry run for 20 minutes and we end up for 2 hours. And so there was a lot to cover and there's so much more to speak. So developing content is so important. To put it in a calendar, it's so important to be consistent. If you only have 2 hours to invest right now, you start with 2 hours to invest, and you just build it consistently. Now, here's one thing that you said that I thought that was pretty amazing. And for anybody who's listening here, this is what she said. She said, hey guys, if you need anything, I'm having it on my website and I'm going to continue developing more content in the website. If you come and you just visit my website and all the information's there, there's videos and you can purchase it. So I just want to put it out there. Olivia was very generous and very vulnerable about it and very organic and said, hey, I got something to sell. It's on my website. Come and buy it because it's got so much value. Now let's talk about how you guys are going to sell yourself. So if you're a stylist or you're a salon owner, what do? You sell every day your services. So you cannot be shy about asking people to come to your salon, right?
Yes.
Now, exactly. So she just did it. Olivia, you just did it. How do you go about being that frank and say, hey, without being salesy, without becoming too salesy?
So obviously it's a confidence thing, right? Like if you know you're a good hairdresser, if you do transformational stuff all the time, it's like, I think if just through authenticity, the authenticity of just being like, hey, I have an opening today and I would love to meet new people. And I really want to start building a clientele based around the people that are like-minded with me, that are cool, that are kind. So if that is you, hit me up. I have time today for a blow dry. You know what I mean? So like, I think that not only, they always say like when people learn something from you, their chances of coming to you are so much more likely. And that's where I feel like I built most of my clientele was through my education. So when I started creating tutorials and me doing stuff on myself, and then they're like, hey, I'm going out tonight. I'm going to go to Olivia's page to see how to curl my hair. Oh my God, she does blonding too. Awesome, whatever. And obviously I tell people, and I'm very frank about my page. I'm like, oh, do you follow me on Instagram? Let's be friends, whatever. You guys can actually get phone cases now with a QR code that goes to your Instagram.com, and you could tell people out in public, oh, go to this link really quick and follow me on Instagram. Like little things like that.
That's amazing.
Friends. I'm getting it made because I just thought about it yesterday.
Yeah, well, order me one, please.
I will. That's a good gift. That's a really good gift item.
Oh, it's awesome. Now, so how do you engage staff in a salon prospect? So salon owners would love their staff to get engaged with social media and to brand themselves. Now, here's the things, and I know we talked about it. We want our staff to brand the salon. That's where we want the clients to come in. And there's a disconnection sometime with that. How do you feel about that, Olivia? And what's your suggestion when it comes to that?
Okay, so this is like a comment and a question, right? So when I was traveling, teaching social media to probably, I mean, I've talked to over maybe 500,000 stylists, just to say, like in the past few years. The biggest issue was I want to be on social media, but I don't know how to motivate my staff to be on social media. And my answer was always this: don't focus on who doesn't want to be on social media. You can't force them to be on social media, right? You should really hone in on the people that do want to be on social media and focus on those people. Get people educated. Send them to classes for social media, because not only is it going to help their personal brand, but in translation, say, hey, if you're going to take the social media class, I'm going to pay you. I need you to kind of like help me out, maybe show the other girls, like train, like I'm in this with you. If you're down for this, like let's do this together. Let's build a business, like almost like an intern, right? Like a social intern. And one question that was just on here was, do you need to hire somebody? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Once you learn, I need to make a social calendar, which what I had mentioned before, there was a question, how often should you do that? I mean, if you want to be successful online, you have to post at least 2 to 3 times a week. And if you really want to be successful.
No, I don't want to be mediocre. I want to be really successful and do the right thing. Do I post 3 times a day?
No.
Okay. 2 times a day? 1 time? Okay.
But what I do is I utilize, so when I say Instagram, keep in mind, there's like 6 social medias on Instagram. And let me explain why. There's the feed, which is its own social media. There's stories. There's live. There's direct messages. There's the popular page, right? People aren't using the feed all the time. People aren't in stories all the time. People might not even go to their feed or their stories and they're searching the popular page, or they're only answering direct messages, right? You have to be on a part of all of those platforms, because it's like, what's your love language? I don't like going through my feed a lot, but I love stories. So if you're really marketing and targeting and kind of planning a business around saying like, okay, I want to post on my stories today. I don't really feel like posting on the feed. Go right ahead. I mean, if you contribute at least 20 minutes a day to your social media and you already know what you're going to post because you've created your content calendar, you could even do something called save drafts. I talk about this in my class. You could actually plan out your entire week's post in a draft, and then that morning post and engage. Guys, big tip here. if you ever post, make sure you are next to your phone for the next 20 minutes and write back to people. So what it does is it actually helps to spark the engagement online. Yeah. And it helps them. And when you respond to someone and they see the notification, they go back to your page after you've responded, their Instagram algorithm says, oh, you've been to Olivia's page, you know, twice in the past couple of minutes. You must really like Olivia. We're going to make sure every single time Olivia posts, it's going to show up on the feed. So to become a common interest is the main goal of showing up on the feed. And that's how you beat the algorithm. I want to talk about this just a little bit more. I want to go a little bit.
Please, because I was just going to ask you, not only talk a little bit about that and the strategic behind it, but how quick you should respond to people. Like, do you need to respond very quickly? Is it like a quick thing? Okay, talk about that as well, because that's important, I think.
So everyone is like, what is this dreaded algorithm? What is it doing to me? So I'm going to explain to you what a part of the algorithm is that is going to make so much sense, okay? And I'm a big video girl. I'm a huge advocate of videos. So don't let me forget that part, Ronit, what I'm about to say. So the goal on Instagram is through your content, which is your photos, right? Engaging photos, good photos, through your content, through your context, which is your captions, okay? If you are only posting a picture of social media, if you are only posting a picture of your salon or hair and you're not writing any caption, you are not utilizing Instagram at 100% capacity. You're only using it at a 50% capacity, right?
Wow. Wow. I mean, this is $1 million tip right there, guys. I mean, how amazing are you? Keep going, please.
So when you're doing your content, your contacts, and your consistency online, you can become a common interest, okay? I'm going to break down what common interest is. I write back, guys, I have 176,000 followers. I write back to every single direct message. It's not that I'm going to get back to you today, right? I will get back to you eventually, but I write back to every single person. Number one, because that is the vow that I made to myself 4 years ago to do that, is to write back to everyone. And everyone who's in here right now, I write you back, right? All the time. But what it also does is it helps to keep a genuine relationship online. Direct messages count as engagement online. Talk to people. The first thing I said when we came in here today was it's not about doing social, it's about being social. When you create relationships, guys, Instagram is so smart that they even know the language of how you talk to each other, whether you're friends or not. Like, think about that, okay? So if you're writing back only emojis, that's not a genuine interaction in Instagram's eyes. You have to write back something that's like a 4 or 5 letter word that thanks maybe somebody or asks, how are you doing? Create a conversation and engagement. Because then again, same thing with Facebook, because Facebook owns Instagram. They want genuine interactions. They don't want spam bot situations that are not generated. They want you to be friends with people, okay? Yeah. You guys know, when you see my videos on my page, I always pop up first. But it's because you're engaging with me. We're friends. We talk online. I write back to everyone. If you direct message me and ask me for a swipe up link to my Amazon chair, like, I'm going to send it to you, you know? So it's a genuine interaction all the time. And that is the basis of being social and not just doing social.
And being true. And I love what you're saying, because it's really important from everybody who's listening right now. We do the same thing in our Facebook group. We have a great Facebook group for only people who wants to grow their revenue, wants to grow their profit, who do not want to be behind a chair all the time, who wants to scale and grow their businesses. So when I speak to these people, I speak to Olivia. Olivia, if you want to scale your business, and if you do not want to be in your business, and if you want to reach to your higher potential on the profit, come see me. I'm at Facebook Live. I'm teaching all the time in this so-and-so group. That's the same thing that you're probably doing on Instagram. You're talking to them.
Yes, exactly.
You're talking to the people who are very interested in what you have to say. So give us an example. What would be a specific conversation that you're going to have on Instagram?
So let's, for instance, I do my hair hacks on my page now. I recently just got into hair myths. Okay. So basically, as me doing the hair hacks, as doing the hair myths, I'm creating education for people. My 3 premise of my page is to always educate, to entertain, and to inspire. So that's my rules of EEI. And I follow those rules every single day, every single time I post. So I say to myself, okay, does this post educate someone? Does this post entertain someone, right? It's a photo, it's a video, it's something cute with me and my husband, whatever. Does it inspire somebody? So when I say inspiration, I'm not just saying inspire you like, oh my God, I'm motivated. Like I'm going to go see Olivia to get her hair done. Like maybe you're coming in to buy a product. Okay. And that's why I make product tutorials on my page, because then they can come in and ask for it by name. So I'm always obviously looking up ways to maximize my time that I'm spending in the salon. And I could go on a full tantrum about selling products as well, and how selling is more social. Okay. Because it's almost, if you are a person that doesn't like to sell things in the salon, by making videos about it or about talking about it, it helps with that shyness, and it's an indirect way of being able to create a social ROI in the flesh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you don't really have to go live. You can just create a video and feel comfortable about it, and then upload it.
Yes.
And then you just don't feel like you're on the spot, if for anybody who's shy about it.
Yes. And okay, so I almost forgot about the video portion of this.
Oh, I was just going to tell you.
I know we have 2 minutes to the hour, so I really want to get this in. So video, guys. Video is the most important thing to do tomorrow on your page. And let me explain why, and let me tell you how to do it, okay? When the algorithms are going through Instagram right now, right, we've already talked about common interest on the page. What happens is Instagram will measure the amount of time a person spends on an individual post to know if they are a common interest. That's why if you go to my page, you're going to see that my video, that I'm 85% videos. Okay. Ronit. Okay. You're scrolling, you see a picture, you're like, oh, okay, whatever, it's pretty, da, 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 da. Okay. But what happens when a video pops up? It automatically plays. And then you watch it, and then it's a good video. And then all of a sudden, they read your caption, right? So now all of a sudden, it went from maybe a 1-second photo interaction of a like to possibly a minute to 2 minutes to 3 minutes, if it's a little bit longer. So the algorithm will measure the amount of time a person spends on an individual post in order to relish the fact that you are a common interest. That's why videos do so well online.
On any platform, whether it's a Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, videos are the way of the future and the way of the present.
Yeah. So
wow.
I do have, a lot of people are like, well, Olivia, how do I do videos? So again, I already posted my OMG Artistry page. I have a video on there, yes, how to pose your clients, what the language looks like to pose clients, what lighting I use, what tools that I use. And then we actually go through the procedure of being able to film without an assistant and how to get your client involved and what that language looks like too. And then the part 2 of it is I actually go into iMovie, step by step, show you how to cut clips, how to add media, how to add music. And then I also talk about the psychology of video. I'll show you, hey, look how long this clip is. You've already lost their attention. You have to break it down. So the goldfish mentality, right? So it's probably like a 40-minute video. It's really amazing. I have that on my website.
And once they finish that video, how else they can learn more from you?
Well, that's something that you and I have to discuss.
Yeah. Working on all of that, part 1, part 2, part 3. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
But listen, I can't even. I can't even about the amount of information that you put out there for everybody to share. Now, I'm going to grant with Olivia, my buddy here, 2 more questions for anybody who have just 2 more questions. If you have a money-making question, this is the time to put it in the chat. So put it in the chat. We're going to chit-chat a little bit more because there's always a little delay until those things are coming, which, by the way, I missed like a minute. I was frozen I'm like, hello, can you hear me? But
I didn't even know. I didn't even know you were frozen.
So I'm really excited. So anybody who has a question, put it there. And the other thing that I was going to ask you, Olivia, when it comes to colors and putting on your brand, because I love that. And I actually went and implement that. What is the suggestion that you have to create a really aesthetic, good looking Instagram that stands you out? And then I have a second question, or just to let everybody know what's going on. Tell me about that, because you are a brand. You want to become a brand, right?
And to be honest with you, I became a brand on accident. Like it wasn't a planned thing. I loved making videos. I loved educating people. That's actually how I got hired with Cosmoprof. I just started posting social media tips on my page. And then Megan Gens from Cosmoprof reached out to me. She goes, "Do you teach social media for a living?" And I go, "Yes."
You're a yes woman.
And I'm like, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Okay, I need a curriculum by tomorrow. We're going to pitch it to the CEO." Yeah. And the next thing you know, I was on the Cosmoprof team flying around the country teaching hairstylists social media. But it's what I put out there. It was what I was passionate about. So like, if you guys aren't passionate about men's haircuts, like stop posting men's haircuts. If you want to do more balayage, post more balayage. If you want to do extensions, bring in a model. So like, there's so many different avenues of like, what do I like, again, and what do I don't like? And the things that I love, I need to start talking about.
Yeah. It's so important. We talk about it and we didn't mention it here. That one of the things, and I'm looking at the question, and we are going to pick 2 questions, so keep piling them in. We were going to talk about, if you want to expand on your revenue and monetize more on your social media, and you're a stylist and you're a hairdresser and you're salon owners, think about what other services that you can do that you can maximize and monetize on your hour production. And like you said, if extension is where I'm going to make more profit, then just showcase the hair extensions. Do a lot of videos just about that. Not about a men's hair cutting, because men's hair cutting is what, $30 for half an hour. That's not what you want. You want to make $300 for an hour, right? And is that?
Yes, that's exactly it. So same thing in my book. I say, how much money do I want to make an hour? Like, what is the best life ever for me that I see myself making that hour? So let's say I say, well, I don't really know how to do extensions. Pay to play. Go take a class. Learn your things, bring in models. I mean, things don't happen. Like things just don't, content just doesn't come out of nowhere, right? Like clients don't just come out of nowhere. Like clients don't just find you from just being in the salon unless there's a walk-in, and that's kind of changed. The world has kind of changed now because there is Instagram. If you're not on the platform, you are not existing in people's minds. Instagram is penny stocks. I don't care how busy you are. Every day you are implementing something for your digital footprint, okay? And that's where everything is going. It's digital. It's a digital era. So what your offline reputation is, it needs to emulate with your online reputation.
So you're actually producing your show. You become a producer of your show.
Correct.
Talking about producing of show, you're going to becoming a big producer of your new show. Tell us a little bit about that. Everybody has to know something about it.
So This is actually the first platform that I'm talking about this on. But guys, coming soon, I will be getting my own streaming TV show, and it's going to be called the OMG Beauty Show. And now I'm like blushing and I'm getting really hot all over because now it's real. Now I've actually like said it out loud. I haven't even told half of my friends about this. I haven't told half of my coworkers about this. So my back is sweating. So I'm really excited about it. It's coming out at the end of February. On the Bespoke Network, coming very soon. It's going to be a 13-episode series. They will run marathons. You'll be able to download it for Roku, YouTube, Apple TV, Samsung, all that's going to be available. And it's actually going to be on regular network television shows. So it's coming soon, and I will have all that promo for you guys, and it's officially official now. Thank you, Ronit.
Oh no, I'm so excited that we just discussed this right here. One, I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you. I can see you're even blushing. Listen, it takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes discipline. It takes focus, tuning out the noise, making sure that you don't surround yourself with people that don't believe you. Always surround yourself with people that support you and want your success. You know who they are. Don't spend time on trying to make people happy if they are not happy for you. That's really my gift to everybody who is listening today. I'm only a couple years older than Olivia. Only couple, as you can see. But I will tell you what I've learned over the years is if you're kind to others and you give as much as you can, but you give yourself a lot. You have to really put a lot of time into yourself to restore. And focus on what you really want out of life. And it doesn't mean, of course, it doesn't mean being selfish, because part of what you want to focus is how you're going to give back. And Olivia, you do it 28/5. You just give back. It's your passion. We can see it. It's amazing. What is something dear to your heart that you love to give back? Like, what is your go-to charity that you always feel so compelled to be part of?
Well, so that's actually where the part of the show is coming into place. And I got like a little emotional there for a second. I was trying to like swallow my emotions for it. But the show is about hair hacks. But at the end of the day, it's not about that. It's about me being your beauty bestie. And so much so that I want you to feel like you and I are doing like this tutorial together. So at the end of the show, we call it like an empowerment bomb. So I'll be giving like lots of advice on there. I just feel like the best way for me to give back is to just give information unconditionally. There's nothing, there is not a bone in my body that says, oh, why are you on this live right now giving away all this free information? Like, what is it? What's in it for you? Listen, at the end of the day, if someone else is succeeding based off like 2 things that I said, I just changed their lives. Like, that's huge for me. And I may not even ever know it, you know? But just to give unconditionally, guys, that's your clientele, give unconditionally, your family, your friends, like it's not, you're doing it more for you. And that's how I give back, is I give back and I give to myself because it gives me peace. And that's why I feel like I can wake up every day and say, I love my life. I love my life. I love my life.
Yeah. And that's what you really want to do. I mean, I think Steve Jobs says it, that he says every morning he would wake up and he would say, what if I can make my life better? Or what if I can make other people? What if I can create this thing that it can save people's time and we can do all of it. He kept asking every day, and if I can do it, what do I need to do to change today to make it happen? What can I tweak more today to get closer to how I want to live my life and how I want to give back. I promise everybody one question, right? So Amber was asking, I mean, specifically, do you charge per post via sponsored post for brands, or do you not do ads? Also, do you personally promote with ads?
So to answer the first question, like I had mentioned to you guys, I'm a relationship hairstylist. I'm also a relationship influencer. I do not, Marlo Beauty is in here right now, Fake Bake. I see a few of my brands. Shout out to you guys. I don't like one-offs. I don't like one-offs at all. If I'm going to talk about a company, you have to send me the product. I have to it has to be a part of my lifestyle to use it. You know what I mean? If it's a tool or a brush or a product, like it has to be something that I'm constantly using. So authenticity, number one, because nothing on my page will ever succeed if it's not authentic. And I know that, okay? So I like to create relationships with brands. So for instance, right now I am the Joico brand storyteller. So I have an exclusive contract with Joico in order to tell the brand's story, okay? That's I'm a prosumer is what they call it. So I can speak to the pro and I can speak to the consumer, because literally 50-50 of my following online is that. And I've kind of streamlined that a little bit. My second question is, for anyone out there who is getting into the influencer game and you want to start having brands pay you, if you come up with a contract, maybe what you could do, let's say you're a micro influencer, which a micro influencer is anyone with like 5,000 followers and down. So you're on a smaller scale with a maximum amount of engagement. What you can do is you could say to them, hey, listen, I really want to work with you, okay? But, you know, I would obviously be willing to trade a tool or a product in order to talk about it online, but let's do this. Give me $50 so I can promote it online. You guys like that? Give me $50 and that'll go to the actual targeted promotion to make this video successful, okay? So I do that with a lot of my brands. I do a lot of that. I do a $50. I go, hey, just on top of whatever you're paying me, let's segregate 50 marketing dollars that can go towards it, because I've already made the content. It might as well do well. And when you guys are doing promo, it's going to blow your mind. When you're doing promo, never do a photo. And let me tell you why. Always do a video, because people do not like or tap like photos that are sponsored, but they will watch a video. So your views will go up. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It makes so much sense, because video is more fun. There's more effort into it. There's more sweat went into it, more thought into it, more artistry. With a photo is just a photo. So it's just ad. I like it.
So it generates more views on that individual post and it automatically plays. So it right there catches the attention. It's like an automated billboard. You know what I mean? If it's going, you're gonna look at it. Like even if you're driving on the road, you know, like you're gonna look at something that has lights and it's bright and it automatically plays. But if you're gonna promo it, it's a video, you need to think about that first 5 seconds of psychology with the video. Am I bored? You know what I used to do? I'm a psycho. So I would look at people, like let's say for instance, I would say, oh my God, follow me on Instagram, whatever. I would see them like scroll through my page and I would figure out where they would stop and they lost interest at looking at my page. And then I would go back and be like, okay, where did I lose them? And I would analyze my page like that. I look at my page. I look at my page like this all the time. Like, what can I do better? How can I make my layout better? What is it missing? So when you have that audit with yourself on your page all the time, like why is a Happy Halloween promo still up there? Like take it down, archive it. It doesn't need to be there.
It's genius. Just now. So, okay. I know it's 28.5. But how do you keep relationship with your husband, your mom, your family, your friends? How do you put your boundaries, and what are your boundaries for being so plugged in? When do you unplug?
So just to keep this in mind, pre-pandemic, I traveled 32 weekends out of 56 weekends last year, 2 years ago now. Okay, right?
Nuts.
That was mostly at least 3 times a month on the weekends. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. My husband, Aaron, he actually sells kids' toys for National Geographic. So he sells science experiments and volcanoes and slime and like all this really cool stuff. He was also, but he would travel Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Do you know how many times we met in the Miami airport? Like shifts in the night, literally in passing. We've been together for 10 years now. Okay, I love him to death. He's my everything. But we're both Capricorns, so we're both hard workers. And we both say, like, get it. Like, let's do this. Like, let's work as hard as we can and let's retire early or work because we want to work, you know? So that was what really was cool about the pandemic for me, and being in quarantine and kind of everything shutting down, because I actually got to spend time with my husband for the first time in 5 years.
And you're still married.
And we're still married. We're going to make it.
Now, how was it? Tell us how amazing it was to spend time with your husband in what is it, 4 walls.
I loved it. We were riding bikes every day. I mean, we were staying in shape. We were spending more time. The condominium that I live in right now, our best friends live in this condo. So we were like the quarantine crew. We were able to just spend time with each other. This is the thing. I was still working. He was still working. I mean, it was just in a different capacity. But then I started holding myself accountable for half of the things I said I didn't have time for. Okay? So through that accountability, I still stayed busy. I went live with Joico almost 65 times. I was going live every single Monday and Friday for them on Facebook and on Instagram. And it was the best. It was the best practice of talking that I've ever received in my life, because obviously you really have to figure out the live platform, of course. But on top of that, it's setting me up for, you know, even everything that I'm about to do now with this show, and, you know, through opportunities and through education and stuff. Like, I did not know how to make a Zoom.
Yeah.
As technological as I seem.
Please. I have a Zoom cough. I developed a Zoom cough. Okay. This is
hilarious. I've never heard that. That is so funny.
I do 8 hours of Zoom Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? And I have workshops and staff meeting and everything. I finally said, Bill, I think I'm coughing because I'm on Zoom all the time. It's not Corona for sure. So yeah, and doing live. Here's what I've learned. There's nothing more fun than being with you right now with me. And it's live. So, you know, it's just, I've learned so much from hosting this show, right? I learn every day from you, and it's amazing. You're amazing. And I'm just so thrilled that you gave 150% of yourself today on this time. And here we are, an hour and 20 into this. Look at us. Now we're ready for a glass of wine.
Trust me, I'm going straight from this to like some Prosecco or something.
Yes. Well,
celebrating life today.
Everybody dare. If you loved even a smidge and retain any information, the goldfish from this, and you want more, you go to Olivia's website. Everything is there, the video's there, and there's going to be more. And how else can we approach you? Can we just DM you questions?
Yes, guys, if you have questions, just direct message me. I will answer. I will have some sort of answer for you, no matter where I'm going to take you, in what direction. And if I don't know the answer, I'll just tell you straight up I don't know the answer, but I'm going to find out. And I'm going to ask maybe your friend.
Well, I love you. Well, you know what? This is it. We're
You there, Ronit? Did we lose her? Is it just me on here, guys? Ronit!
What happened? What happened?
I felt so abandoned for a moment.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Here I am back again. But you know what? We're going to say good night to everybody. Again, we had an amazing time. Olivia, don't get off. I'm just going to get off live and I'm going to see you in my chamber.
I'm gonna take a selfie of you and I really quickly on here.
Yeah, but I'm not but I'm frozen.
You look great. You are. You know you're frozen. I love that you know
I'm
you're
so
frozen.
frozen.
That's hilarious. Too funny. Guys, thank you so much, Ronit. Thank you, America's Beauty Show, for having me. I plan on starting a really beautiful relationship with you guys and everyone who's on here right now. So many people have come out to support this live, and I just really, really appreciate you all. And Ronit, you're my girl for life. That's it. We're embedded in each other's lives. And I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you too. Even though I'm frozen, I'll see you in my chamber.
Bye, guys. See you
Bye,
later.
everybody. See you later.